What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stevies 5 and 5, 5 picks, 5 minutes or less. Yesterday had a really good day, swept the board. 6-0, actually had a bonus bet in there. Went 6-0 yesterday. The one before that, we went 5 and 1. I don't know why I call it 5 and 5 when I do 6 bets. Maybe I'll do 6 and 6. Who knows? But overall, what's that? 11 and 1 in the last two. Very, very good. So yeah, we got 5 bets today. It's limited NBA slate, so we got NBA and college basketball. Plus, Big Dirk bets. Man's at Top Golf right now. Can't blame him. So I'm here grinding with my Starbucks. I got 2 bonus bets from Big Dirk. So full disclaimer, those will be at the end. Those are his. So if they lose, don't blame me. Shout out Dirk. They won't lose though. First up, NBA. Minnesota versus Chicago, over 228. Chicago gives up 119 on average per game. Minnesota gives up 109 on average per game. Wow, look at that. 228. There's the over, right? Well, if we take a closer look at the line, you have Minnesota 9-point favorites, okay? You would expect Minnesota to be able to score a little over, or Chicago a little over than their expected total. Chicago's offense has been able to put up points as well. I think that Gobert is going to struggle against a stretch big like he has this year just because of the drop coverage. Both teams were rested, so I really like the over in this spot. Also, in that game, Vucevic over 1.5 3-pointers made. I got a plus 135. I think it's dropped to plus 115 now. It's hit 8 of the 10. Since he's played 8 of the 10 games he's played Gobert. Gobert plays drop coverage, right? Stretch bigs. They're going to want to take Gobert out the paint. It's hit 50. He's shooting over 50% of threes on the year. And it's hit 5 of the last 7 games so far. So I really like Vucevic here at plus money on a shooter that's shooting well against the center with drop coverage. Moving on. San Antonio Spurs, Blazers. I got Zach Collins over 6.5 points. This has cleared 7 of the last 8 times versus the Blazers. It's his former team. He's coming out here pissed off. I remember watching Zach Collins in college. Go Zags. He always played pissed off, always does still. Jeremy Shohan, the starting forward, power forward, broken hand or broken finger. So Zach Collins going to start, going to get some high minutes. If he plays a little center for them, which he has a little bit, but if he plays some center for them today, Aiden and Klingon both play drop coverage. Expect more shots for him. So I really like Zach Collins here over 6.5 points. Moving on to NCAA basketball. I got Chattanooga plus 16 against St. Mary's. This line opened up at 13 and it's moved up to 16. Look, St. Mary's, they beat Townsend by only 7 points at home. Chattanooga doesn't need to match the spread to cover this, okay? It can be 8 points worse than Townsend and still cover the spread. Chattanooga is better than Townsend. St. Mary's, they're very slow-paced, methodical, like some compared to like Virginia basketball with Tony Bennett of the West Coast. Being in the WCC, big Gonzaga fan. That's been the rivalry. St. Mary's, it's almost like an ugly style. That's why they always get bounced whenever they make the tournament in the first round. They just need some time to clean up their mistakes. They got a new roster. Their best player, Aiden Mahaney, transferred to UConn. A lot of players graduated as well. I think it's with this fat number, 16 points, it's highly unlikely that they cover. Chattanooga's been staying out on the West Coast. They just got done against USC. Lost by this number against USC, and I don't think St. Mary's is that much better than USC, so I really like Chattanooga here, plus the 16. And my last one is Idaho State, plus 18 against USC. USC won 77-51 against last week against Chattanooga. Then Idaho State lost 55-48 against Arizona State. Chattanooga really struggled offensively in that game. It wasn't much that USC's defense did. USC chucked, and they missed a lot. They chucked. Like, they want to run up the score. They didn't shoot a good percentage from the field at all. And Idaho State is very slow tempo, pack line. They want to slow the game down, play at their pace. I think this is going to be an ugly late game, and I think Idaho State will cover this pretty easily. That is the 5-5 from Stevie. We got Minnesota and Chicago over 228. Vucevic over 1.5 threes. Zach Collins over 6.5 points. Chattanooga plus 16 and Idaho State plus 18. Dirk's 2 bonus bets coming at you right here. Big Dirk Bets on Twitter. Shout out him. Prairie View versus DePaul. I got it at over 151.5. It opened up at 148, which is what Big Dirk got it at last night. Told me to put it last night, and I didn't listen because I'm an idiot. Prairie View won 111-90 in their first game against the College of Biblical Studies. That doesn't tell you a lot about Prairie View. They can score and they don't play defense. DePaul won 80-78 over Southern Indiana. 2-point win over Southern Indiana. Again, both defenses are terrible. You're going to ask them to score half of their points that they did the first game? I love it. Shout out Big Dirk Bets for that one. And the next one he has is Trailblazers Spurs over 217.5. Both are bottom 5 defenses. Portland can score points. They put up points. They're just a bad team in general, really. San Antonio's off an ass whooping against Houston, which means they're going to be motivated, open to score more. So the over here in this one. So the 7 bets we have now, then the 2 with Dirk is Prairie View and DePaul over, Trailblazer Spurs over. Follow on Twitter, Stevie Locks. Follow Dirk, Big Dirk Bets. Appreciate it.